So one day I was watching a J-perm video about Max Park and I noticed something that shocked me. This puzzled the YouTuber himself, J-perm. It was the fourth solve of the average. Max Park used a J-perm I have never seen before. This got me thinking, how many other J-perms are out there? So I searched the web and found speedcubing wiki and found this. 27 J-perms. 27 J-perms. I was shocked. I wanted to see if the most popular J-perm was actually the best. So the main goal in this video is to find the lowest move count J-perm, the most fingertrickable J-perm, and which J-perm has the potential to be the fastest out of these 27 J-perms. So in order to know whether an algorithm is good or not, there are two main factors: fingertrickability and move efficiency. So let's try out these factors to see why the T-perm is so good. If you look at the T-perm, you'll see that it is 14 moves long. So right now, our move count is 14 moves. Now if we look at that clip again, we'll count the amount of wrist turns in the alg. 7 wrist turns. Now we count the finger flicks in the alg. 7 finger flicks. So looking at the T-perm, it is half wrist turns and half finger flicks. That is a 7-to-7 ratio. However, when we look at the J-perm, the move count is 13 moves, so that is one thing that it has over the T-perm. Now let's look at the wrist turns. 7 wrist turns, same as the T-perm. Now let's look at the finger flicks. 6 finger flicks. That's a 7-6 ratio, and something you may want to keep in mind is that wrist turns are always going to be superior to flick turns. So obviously you would think, so J-perm is a better T-perm, but no, you would be gravely mistaken because there is one factor that we haven't mentioned yet, and it is the type of finger flicks. If you notice, most of the finger flick turns are U moves in both algorithms. However, there's an F move in both algorithms, but since the T-perm has the F move at the end, that's okay. While the J-perm has the F move on the fourth move. If you notice the T-perm, my thumb never has to move until the last move. However, if you look at the J-perm, I have to use my thumb to keep the pieces together, so to speak, while doing the algorithm. This puts more pressure on my thumb, making it more difficult to perform the algorithm. So because of this F move, the move count and finger trick ratio, it levels out to be that the J-perm is just about good as a T-perm, or equal. So now we know how to judge an algorithm better, and we can look at the 27 algorithms. So first we're going to look at the lowest move count J-perms. There are 4 10-move J-perms, and we can figure out which is the best. And after going over all of these algs, I can understand why people don't use these. So out of 4 algs, only 2 of them are good. So the first algorithm has 6 wrist turns and 4 finger flicks. The second algorithm has 5 wrist turns and 5 finger flicks. The first alg is okay, but has lots of alternating R and L move. The second move would also be really good, but has B moves and F moves in it. And B and F moves, especially B moves, are bad. It makes the algorithm bad. A good algorithm will mainly have wrist turns and U moves. It's okay to maybe have one F move, but this algorithm has B moves in it, so no. So the best, absolutely lowest move count algorithm is this one: R, U prime, L, U2, R prime, U, R, U2, L prime. But this algorithm says only decay because it's not completely 2-gen. If you're completely 2-gen, it would be really good. In case you don't already know, 2-gen is when something has only R and U moves or only L and U moves, but this algorithm has a combo of R and L moves, making it not 2-gen. So applying the same wrist to finger flick ratio, these are the best ones out of the 11 move J-perms. So after looking at all of these, I realized they all have the same ratio. So we'll look at the ones with a different ratio, right to left wrist turns. So after looking at these again, it seems that the closest algorithm to a 2-gen algorithm is this one: R, U2, R prime, U prime, R, U2, L prime, U, R prime, U prime, little r. So the question is this algorithm better than the 10-move algorithm? Yes. The answer is yes. There's only one L move in this algorithm, and it seems to simply just flow better, and it's only 11 moves. Take a look at the 12-move algorithms. The one I saw with the most potential is the second one, as it is basically 2-gen. Then I quickly realized that this was a lefty alg, so I translated it to a righty alg. And only then did I realize that this algorithm was actually a J-perm instead of a J-perm. So for people who are left-handed, you guys may like this algorithm, but for me, I am more right-handed, therefore I probably won't look too much further into this. Now this list right here also has the most popular J-perm, and immediately after looking, it was clear that the most popular J-perm was way better than the other algorithm. Now let's look at the last algorithm we haven't looked yet. This algorithm right here on the screen. 15 moves. I don't really have much to say about this one. This one sucks. So looking at our final algs, we have our lowest move count J-perm: R, U prime, L, U2, R prime, U, R, U2, L prime. The most finger trickable J-perm: R, U2, R prime, U prime, R, U2, L prime, U, R prime, U prime, little r. And finally, the fastest J. The answer to a question we have all been waiting for. Is the popular J-perm that most people use right now R, U, R prime, F prime, R, U, R prime, U prime, R prime, F, R2, U prime, R prime, faster than this J-perm, R, U2, R prime, U prime, R, U2, L prime, U, R prime, U prime, little r. Before I get to that, I would want to bring up one honorable mention, and that is this algorithm, L2, U, D prime, L2, U, L2, U, L2, D, L2, U prime, L2. Has an extremely high potential for those who are left-handed, but I would say that it isn't suited for right-handed people. Now it's your choice of which one you prefer. So with the final conclusion, the fastest J-perm is this algorithm right here. This is the algorithm I'll be using for now.